Another heated school board meeting in Uvalde seemingly overshadows resolutions passed by the board. We'll explain what happened at the meeting and talk about the latest fallout.
And let's look outside with live cam this morning. We're at 80 degrees, slowly creeping up there, and those clouds are slowly going away.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Here's the good news. Everything's happening slowly today. Good morning. It's Tuesday. It is July 26th.
Happy Tuesday. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk about the very, very small possibility of rain for a very few amount of people in the next few days. But that's later with Justin. For now, we'll take a look at today's 9 at 9.
A group of people walked out of the Uvalde school board meeting last night after someone stood up and started speaking in favor of the school district. Families of the Robb Elementary shooting victims stood united, chanting, "No justice, no peace." Another open forum meeting is planned for August 8th.
During yesterday's meeting, the Uvalde School Board formally urged Governor Abbott to call state lawmakers back to Austin so they can raise the legal age to buy assault rifles from 18 to 21. The unanimous vote came the same night the board voted to delay the start of the school year, which will now begin on September 6th.
The principal of Robb Elementary has been placed on administrative leave. The report released earlier this month found that Mandy Gutierrez and her assistant knew about problems with door locks and did not place a work order to fix them. The report also found that teachers and faculty didn't receive an alert at the time of the shooting because of poor internet signal, and Gutierrez never tried to communicate the lockdown over the intercom. She's the second district employee placed on leave after District Police Chief Pete Arredondo.
New video released by the House committee investigating the January 6th Capitol attack appears to show former President Trump's reluctance to condemn the rioters who breached the Capitol and tried to stop the certification of the 2020 election. The committee also showed a draft of a speech Trump gave the day after the attack with several lines crossed out. The committee is promising more hearings in September, all while the Department of Justice continues its own wide-ranging investigation into the Capitol attack.
Another meeting of the Federal Reserve starts today, and by the time it ends tomorrow, experts think we'll see another significant interest rate hike. Most economists expect a second consecutive boost of 3/4 of a point. This will be the fourth interest rate hike since March as the Fed tries to help put the brakes on inflation.
The Biden administration is working on adding a monkeypox coordinator to the staff, but they have not hired anyone yet. They say the coordinator would help in arranging the federal government's response to the monkeypox outbreak. This comes after the World Health Organization declared monkeypox a public health emergency of international concern over the weekend. But U.S. health officials have not declared the outbreak a public health emergency in this country.
President Biden's doctor says his COVID symptoms have almost completely been resolved. The president is said to still have some nasal congestion and hoarseness, but it's an improvement from the weekend. Biden's doctor also said it's been determined that he contracted the BA.5 Omicron subvariant, which is the predominant strain in the U.S.
Today, the White House is hosting a summit on the next generation of COVID-19 vaccines. The administration is turning its focus towards dealing with coronavirus in the long term. Top representatives from Moderna, Pfizer, and other pharmaceutical companies, as well as scientists and key administration officials, will be in attendance.
The extreme heat blanketing much of the country is drastically increasing the wildfire risk. A small grass fire outside Dallas quickly spread yesterday, destroying at least 9 homes and damaging 15 more. And in California, more than 2,500 firefighters are battling the Oak Fire, the state's largest wildfire of the year, burning more than 17,000 acres so far. This is the third wildfire in that area in just the past 2 weeks. And that's today's 9 at 9.
And taking a look outside with live cam, we are looking to continue the record for triple digits, I guess, trying to add up those numbers.
They just keep coming. You know, the thing about it is, I think we're pretty much used to it by now. We're pretty much resigned to the fact that we're going to be around 100 degrees. It's not that far above average. And I think we can deal with the heat. It's this drought that really seems to be really affecting us. And the drought probably gets a little bit worse. We do have some small rain chances mixed in this week, but not much. 80 degrees at the airport right now. 77 Kerrville, 77 in Rock Springs, 81 in Del Rio. Temperatures next few days. big surprise, right around 100 each and every day. But notice Wednesday and Thursday, we've got a couple 10% chances of rain there in the forecast. It'll be few and far between, but at least there'll be something on the radar, I think. We're at 46 days now at 100 or above. Today would make 47, and so we just keep moving right up the list. I have very little doubt in my mind that we're going to catch 2011 and 2009. I think we'll get there pretty easily with August still ahead of us, and it's typically our warmest month. 88 degrees at 11 o'clock, 91 noontime. We're up around 101 this afternoon with southerly winds anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour. Again, we do have those small chances of rain coming up. We're going to look at that. Plus, we got a trivia question for you. We're going to test your knowledge. That's coming up here in just a few minutes, guys.
Thank you, sir. Traffic right now, we've got slowdowns in normal spots around town now that the morning commute is winding down. Things look really good. Upper and lower level 35 at Main, and there's I-10 at New Braunfels, I-37 at Jones Avenue. In the morning headlines, Brittney Griner back in a Russian courtroom today, and the NFL is ready to stream the season.
Plus, a deer needed a bus ride and a whale looking to board a boat. David Sears is here with these stories.
Wild Kingdom today.
Right?
No doubt about that.
We're ready to go with that. We'll get to those in just a second, but first let's start with this. WNBA star Brittney Griner back in a Russian court today. There was testimony. One of her attorneys argued that she did not have any criminal intent and was in a rush when she packed her bags with some cannabis oil. Her lawyers also pointed out that the cannabis may be illegal in Russia, but it is allowed in other countries for its legitimate medical use. They also argued the cannabis was prescribed by a doctor in the U.S. to help her with her chronic pain. And once again, she did not intend to break the law. The trial was ended after about 90 minutes and will resume tomorrow. Earlier this month, Griner pled guilty to drug charges in a Russian court. She was arrested back in February at an airport in Moscow when inspectors found the cannabis oil in her luggage. Griner has been in a Russian jail for 5 months. She could be there for up to 10 years if convicted. If you are looking forward to the NFL season, of course, the Cowboys and all the other teams getting ready for training camp, there will be choices when it comes to watching the games. The NFL is going streaming for $5 a month or $40 for the season. You can subscribe for live, local, and primetime games. It is the same content they have been offering for free over the last several seasons. However, there is a catch. You won't be able to see the streaming on your TV. It'll only be available on phones or tablets. And there's more. If you want full game replays, you can sign up for the premium version. Of course, there's always a premium version. It's going to cost you about $10 a month. You are on board a city bus, and apparently the deer needs a ride. That's a deer crashing through the front window. This happening in Lawton, Oklahoma. Alicia Sutton is the driver. She was stunned for a second, but was able to stay calm, stop the bus, then open the door for the deer to get out. Pretty impressive.
My first reaction was, did that just happen? And I was talking to it, trying to calm him down.
I love the way and really appreciate the way our driver reacted and how she dealt with the whole situation. I'll be perfectly honest, I'm not sure if I would have been able to do that.
Landers said this is going to be used for training on how to handle close calls. The bus has been repaired and is back on the road. Ironically, driving to work this morning, a deer right in front of me. And I was afraid I was going to get hit from behind because the guy behind me was a little close.
Right.
And I had to swerve to avoid the deer.
Well, at least it didn't go through your windshield and sit in your passenger seat.
Yeah, well, I had room.
You have room. It is a pretty big truck.
You let me open the door for you.
Yeah, and we heard that this deer wound up being okay. I mean, it looked stunned, but none the worse for wear.
Have you ever been hit by a deer or hit a deer?
Don't want to.
No. Oh.
Twice. It'll do some serious damage. All right, let's take it to Sunday morning. A whale flies out of the water and lands on the bow of the boat. Are they going to see it again? This is happening off the coast of Massachusetts. It was so spectacular and word got out so fast that now people are showing up very early to see if they can catch another spectacular moment by a humpback whale.
It's like the most spectacular thing I've ever seen. That's why I'm here at 3:30 in the morning every day. It's like 4:30 to 5:30. They start jumping, and then they generally leave at some point after 9 o'clock.
Been coming out here for 2 weeks, and they've been putting on quite a show.
It's not unusual to have whales off the coast of Massachusetts. It's unusual to have them in shallow waters really close to the coast of Plymouth, but that's a factor of the bait that's come into the area.
Look at that. Bam. Okay. So there were 2 people on the boat at the time when that whale hit it. They're okay, and the boat is actually seaworthy. It'll still float. So that's a good thing, even after that whale had to. I like the guy, though. 4:30 to 5:30, the whales are jumping. Then about 9 o'clock, they leave. Well, I guess I'm going to lunch? What?
Taking a break.
I'm surprised this doesn't happen more often, because a lot of places, those are excursions. You can go on a whale watching boat, and everybody tends to congregate in the same area where they're frequently seen, or when they do see them, they all kind of head the same direction. So,
interesting. Yeah. No, those are big things.
Yeah.
Very big.
A little scary.
Back to respecting the ocean.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Got to watch those things.
Okay.
All right. We'll see you in a few minutes.
David,
All right.
thank you.
Thank
I got to go. I'll be back.
Okay.
All right.
See you in a minute.
And there he goes. Light up the room and leave. There you go. 9:08, about 80 degrees. Still ahead on GMSA at 9.
There's excitement, but also some doubt about another pro football team in San Antonio. What some experts say it will take to keep a team here. Plus,
coming up next, 2 local professors are looking to preserve the stories of the city's west side, the details on this project and why it's so important for the community.
Welcome back. 9:12. 2 UTSA professors hope to preserve the West Side's musical heritage through the West Side Sound Oral History Project.
the professors are collecting interviews, photos, and recordings of some of the music produced from the west side of San Antonio, and they're partnering with some community members.
Tiffany Huertas joins us live from the west side with more on this project. Good morning, Tiff. So who have the professors partnered with on this particular project?
One of the people that they've partnered with is Jaime Macias. He is the owner of Jaime's Place. It's a bar in the west side. But what's interesting about this location is that they attract artists to perform here that have that element of the west side sound. And just check it out. Professors have already collected some items. To talk more about these items, we have Sylvia and Gloria. Good morning. Sylvia, talk to us about this project and what is the west side sound? What is it?
Right, so the West Side Sound Oral History Project is a project that is rooted in Mexican American Studies history. And so we go into the community and we interview people who have memories about the music, about dancing, and Dr. Gonzalez can tell you about the sound.
Okay, yes, it was a sound that was developed on the West Side by baby boomers at the time. And they were just trying to emulate what they heard on the radio. But when they did, it came out our way because we can't do it exactly the same way because we are who we are. And so it was created by San Antonio teenagers, which DJ Henry Peña calls San Antonio's oldest teenagers, okay, because they still gravitate to the sound, to this music.
Talk to us about some of these items that you've all collected
Okay,
so far.
sure. This is some, right here. Let me show you this. Sonny Ozuna, Sonny and the Sunliners.
Who is he?
He is one of the West Side Sounds that started out as a garage band, and they went on to have a hit, "Talk to Me," which became allowed them to go to American Bandstand, which was a show at the time that everybody watched, and so he was the first to go, and had a nationwide hit that brought this sound all over the United States. And people didn't know that it was local. It was local. It was something that was done by the youth here. It was not professional musicians, not something, it was just teenagers doing something over the summer.
And Sylvia, talk to us about why is it so important for this project to happen?
It's important for us, especially in general, but definitely in the time of COVID, to collect our histories from our community, specifically from the Mexican American community and from the West Side community. We're often left out of the historical record, so this project is an opportunity to tell our own stories from our own community and have it archived at UTSA.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much to both of you for joining me this morning. We're going to have more details on the noon show. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Tessa joins us now. Time for a little bit of Weather 101.
Yeah, we figure we'd do some trivia. Now, if you were watching KSAT News Now last week, we broke out this trivia question, but I think it's a good one, and I want to test your knowledge now, see what you think. So here's the question. What is the driest place on Earth? Is it A, Death Valley, B, the Saharan Desert, C, the Atacama Desert, or D, Antarctica?
Wow, let's go with D.
I was going to go with D as well. This seems like a trick question.
Oof. You guys are good. You guys are good. It is D.
What?
That is the answer. And it does surprise a lot of people, but there are these dry valleys on Antarctica where they basically never get rain. And you know, the Atacama Desert, we had that on there. C was the answer for Atacama. It is close second. It is a close second. It's the driest inhabited place on Earth. But anyway, if you were curious, Antarctica, a place that hardly ever gets any precipitation. At least in those valleys. Let's talk about South Texas. Did South Texas make the list? It sure feels like it this year. We've got about 5 inches of rain so far. And if we look back at how many days it's been since we've had at least a half an inch of rain, it's been since June 28th, 28 days. It has been 173 days since we've had at least an inch of rain or more. That was back on February 3rd. And this is kind of mind-blowing, but it has been 286 days since we've had a rain event where we've received over 2 inches of rain. Pretty incredible. I mean, we've had a really dry stretch here since last fall. And as we look at the precipitation outlook as we head into early August, doesn't get much better. This brown color represents where we're going to see below average rainfall and kind of steps down from there. But I still think we'll be below average here in San Antonio as we go into August, which is typically our driest, hottest time of year. And right now, we're feeling it. 80 degrees at the airport, 72 the dew point. Southerly winds at about 8 miles per hour, feels like 84. It is 77 in Rock Springs and Uvalde, 82 Carrizo Springs, 82 in Gonzales, 81 in New Braunfels. Right around 80 degrees, just about anywhere you go in San Antonio at this hour. And the dew point trend, well, dew points will come down some today. They were a little lower this morning, a little bit. And as we get into the peak heating of the day, you'll see dew points in the low 60s, still equating to a heat index somewhere in the range of 100 to 102, but it's not going to be off the charts. And by this point, I think we're pretty used to this kind of number, 101 here in San Antonio. Not a record. It's hot, but not a record. 97 in Bernie today, 98 Kerrville, 101 in Bandera. Yesterday, we showed you the water vapor, and there was that nice little spin. Still there, but this is starting to fade away, and this is not going to do anything for us. It didn't do anything for us yesterday. But there are a few showers right along the coast. I do want to point that out. We've got some deeper moisture trying to work in, and there certainly could be a shower or two around Victoria, maybe Hallettsville this afternoon. We don't get any rain here in San Antonio, but here's what I'm watching. Our ridge high pressure still posted over parts of northeast Texas. It does move east just a little bit. Little disturbance works south of there, and that disturbance works in by tomorrow. Around 5 o'clock, does show 1 or 2 showers popping up, 10% chance. Chances are we don't get any rain here in San Antonio, but I think these showers could get a little bit closer tomorrow and then maybe again on Thursday. 1 or 2 pop-up showers or storms. It's going to be like winning the rain lottery. Someone's going to get lucky perhaps, but it'll be few and far between any rain that we do see. 101 today, 100 on Wednesday, 100 Thursday, 101 Friday with just that small chance of rain all 3 days. The weekend, same story. And then next week we get another one of those little disturbances that may stir up a shower or two, but nothing that's going to put a dent in this drought. That's for sure. Drought is here to stay, guys.
Boo. Okay.
I agree.
Thanks, Justin.
Yep.
Well, as we touched on a little bit right here on this newscast yesterday, there's some excitement and doubt about pro football returning to the Alamo City.
The stats for pro football in San Antonio, they're not that great. And RJ Marcus found out it's not always about the fan support.
He tells us what this new XFL league could mean for our city and what are some of the biggest factors in its survival.
From the Gunslingers to the Commanders, San Antonio has been home to many pro football teams that have not lasted very long.
Go San Antonio!
But the XFL, the league co-owned by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, is giving the Alamo City another shot.
It'll enhance the quality of life. So if you're a sports fan or, even more so if you're a football fan.
Dr. Steve Niven is an economics professor at St. Mary's. He expects the league to draw well in San Antonio, but says it's not just about fan support.
The bigger question of the two, again, is whether or not the league itself is sustainable.
This new XFL team will play their home games right here at the Alamo Dome next spring, and Professor Niven says that's a good thing for area businesses, and he also says that it's important because it keeps money right here in San Antonio that could have otherwise gone somewhere else.
They would have traveled outside of the city to attend any, another football game or any other event and use that money, then and that would count towards the impact.
Bexar County Judge Nelson Wolf says a key difference from previous leagues is the national exposure the city will get.
If they have a good television contract, that will give the city of San Antonio a lot of visibility across the nation, as we've got with the Spurs.
But like Professor Niven, Judge Wolf says it all comes down to the league's financial support and viability.
And they've got to be sure that this league is funded. We don't want to get off in another losing endeavor. And the losing endeavors is not because we didn't draw the crowds, but because the league was screwed up.
RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
Well, there you go. 921, about 81 degrees.
We'll be right back.
924, welcome back. Walmart slashing its profit forecast for the year comes days before the release of critical data which could show America's economy heading into a recession. As ABC's Andrew Dimbert reports, the Federal Reserve is continuing to look for ways to fight inflation.
This morning, Walmart is raising fears about inflation in America, lowering its profit outlook for the rest of the year, saying prices on food and gas are forcing shoppers to cut back on general items, particularly clothing, which carry higher profit margins. Shares of Walmart fell 10% yesterday. The company's former CEO says Walmart's move to lower its profit outlook mid-quarter is rare.
I know we did it once when I was there, and I've been gone for a long time, so an inter-period warning like that is very uncommon for Walmart.
The Federal Reserve is set to raise the cost of borrowing again tomorrow in an attempt to slow the economy down to fight inflation. The Fed is expected to increase interest rates 0.75 of a point, similar to what it did last month. And the Commerce Department will release a major report on Thursday, which could show America's economy shrinking for a second consecutive quarter, generally understood to be a recession. One bright side for the economy is dropping gas prices, now at an average of $4.35 a gallon, 55 cents cheaper from 1 month ago. President Biden and the White House are downplaying recession fears.
My hope is we go from this rapid growth to steady growth. And we'll see some coming down. But I don't think we're going to, God willing, I don't think we're going to see a recession.
Meanwhile, as the country's pilot shortage fuels flight cancellations, Senator Lindsey Graham is introducing new legislation that would raise the mandatory retirement age for commercial airline pilots to 67 from 65. Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Pilots' unions argue against raising the age limit, saying it will only increase costs and introduce unnecessary risks. The FAA has not yet commented on the bill.
And time now, 9:26 and 81 degrees for now. There's a lot more ahead on GMSA at 9, including an incredible feat by 4 women who have set a new rowing world record. And after the break, how the current housing market is affecting local veterans looking to become homeowners.
The VA loan is a hard-earned benefit for those who've served our country.
The program has helped veterans become homeowners for almost 80 years, including women and veterans of color.
Courtney Friedman spoke to a new homeowner who said the program helped her Gold Star family get a home even in this difficult housing market.
Marisol Deck met the love of her life in the Air Force. She served for almost 4 years, and Master Sergeant Christopher Robert Deck served for 22 years until he passed away just a year ago.
That's all we would talk about is, oh, we're going to go to Texas, we're going to retire, we're going to finally own a house.
2 months ago, she made that dream come true for her 4 kids in honor of their dad. And she did it all through the VA loan program.
The VA loan has grown incredibly over the last 15 years. This was historically only about 2% of the mortgage market. Today, it's about 12%.
Chris Burke is the VP of Mortgage Insight for Veterans United Home Loans and says despite the incentives, the market over the past couple of years has been tough on veterans.
We've seen so many home sellers who won't even accept a VA offer. They're looking for cash offers.
I was very lucky.
These VA loans offer much lower interest rates as well as no down payments. But because of the competition in this current market, she actually did put a down payment on this house.
But Burke says recent rate hikes have actually helped the veterans utilizing these loans.
Especially over the last few months, have led to a little bit of a decrease in demand.
Helpful for a specific growing veteran homeowner population, women of color. Veterans United reports between 2018 and 2021, VA home loan usage increased 23% for Black veterans, almost 35% for female veterans, and Hispanic veteran homeownership was over 18 percentage points higher than civilian counterparts.
A proud Latina, I did it on my own, served my country.
Leveling the playing field for the most deserving Americans. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Let's look outside with live cam. 81 for now and no rain in sight for today.
Not today. I think there could be a few spots well east of San Antonio that could see a shower, but not here in town. And those clouds are already starting to clear out. I want to show you the radar across the country. We've been dealing with the drought. That is not the case across the Midwest. Some heavy showers and storms this morning. I want to take you up to St. Louis, where they've had flooding rainfall. In fact, in the last 24 hours, they've picked up nearly 7 inches of rain. Some radar estimates as high as 9 inches there around St. Louis, which has caused some pretty significant flooding there. And they'll see a bit more rain, looks like today, along the frontal boundary, where they're getting some cooler air. Not the case here in Texas. It's 83 in Waco, 85 Dallas, 82 here in San Antonio. You can see where that frontal boundary is. The high temperature today in St. Louis, 67. That sounds amazing. Oh, no, that's the current temperature, 67. But they'll see temperatures only in the mid-80s, which, yes, still sounds amazing. 81 in Chicago today, 78 Cleveland. That's where the cooler air is. Portland, another place that's seeing some heat, 96. They're going to deal with some potentially record high temperatures. And here in Texas, 100 San Antonio, 102 Dallas, 103 Oklahoma City. That's where all the heat is. Our KSAT 12-hour forecast, 91 by noontime, 99 by 3 o'clock. We're up around 101 by 5 p.m. with mostly sunny skies and some breezy southeasterly winds anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour.
Camping with KSAT, powered by Davis Law Firm.
And the Cowboys have arrived in Oxnard for training camp, and as usual, they packed a lot of questions for the trip.
RJ and David are back with us to talk more about that. And I have I think it's a totally fair question as a sports fan. Who's more predisposed to disappointment this year? Cowboys fans or Spurs fans?
Oh.
Wow. I'm going to have to say Spurs fans.
Yeah.
Cowboys have a much better chance of making the playoffs than the Spurs.
So. It's going to be a great year for Dallas then.
Yeah, I think there is some optimism for Dallas. I mean, they won 12 games last year. All these guys are back. They're mostly healthy, as we were just talking about here. But, when it comes to the Spurs, I mean, that's a full-on
That was
rebuild.
a good question, though. Never thought of that way. We know everybody's in Oxnard. Greg Simmons is in Oxnard, enjoying the cooler weather, so he's going to keep his reports going. Yeah, did you see him? He had his suit coat on yesterday. It was a little chilly, I guess, there in Oxnard.
Yeah, he was out there at one of the marinas, and I checked the temperature. I think their high today is 70 degrees.
Hashtag jealous.
Yeah.
Tough gig.
But that's why they go out there, because they want to be able to get in a lot of work. Although with this new collective bargaining agreement they've been dealing with over the last couple of years, doesn't seem like they do a whole lot of work. I mean, what happened to the really brutal two-a-days that they used to have? Those things are gone. So
you covered those, right, David?
Yeah.
Wichita Falls, the Jimmy Johnson days.
Jimmy Johnson yelling and screaming at people.
It's now 2 a week.
Yeah, it's like, we'll practice today and take the day. Like not even practice until tomorrow. You can see them all getting off the bus yesterday. One of 2 players that met with the media yesterday, Jerron Kearse.
That's right.
He is the Cowboys starting safety who signed a 2-year, $10 million contract extension back in March.
Yeah, and that's right. So Jerron Kearse coming off his best season. He's obviously played for the Cowboys last year, started 15 games, had over 100 tackles, 2 interceptions. You remember, David, the defense did a great job turning over people. So let's hear a little bit from Jerron, see how he feels about the Dallas defense.
We have the right guys in place to go out and do great things. We didn't lose a lot. We brought some key players back. So it's all about what we go out here and do, and starting from day one, looking to improve on what we did last year, and hit the ground running.
Yeah, they got to improve that run defense from last year. They were not good. They gave up almost 150 yards to the 49ers in the playoffs last year. So they got to work on that. They got to stop some run. But I know Leighton Vander Esch, if he's healthy, he's still one of their top defensive players. Micah Parsons can play anywhere on the defensive side of the ball. Yeah. And then they got DeMarcus Lawrence back and a couple of young guys that they're looking for. There's a lot of guys that are like 25 and younger.
Yeah, Trayvon Diggs had a great season last year, obviously playing with the secondary as well. Interesting, though, we saw a little bit of Mike McCarthy getting off the bus there, David. I found this interesting. First day, a lot of people are excited. Mike McCarthy's excited. And the first question that he gets right out of the gate is about his job security.
Oh.
Yes. Like, what are your thoughts on your job security? And these rumors of Sean Payton, obviously Sean Payton not coaching the Saints anymore. And Mike McCarthy was not happy with that line of questioning.
Well,
First question.
I could understand. But he ought to know it's coming, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Eventually, especially with Sean Payton, back there in the background.
Did Sean Payton ask the question?
And they said, no, he hasn't joined the Cowboys.
Oh, I know.
Yet.
No, I know.
We're waiting.
Wow,
We're waiting to see. I guarantee you, if the Cowboys don't get off to a fast start, there's going to be a lot of rumblings in Dallas.
Yeah.
I mean, and if they don't get off to a fast start, they may be right there with the Spurs watching the playoffs. I don't know.
Yikes.
It could happen.
And David, we talked about this. Of course, Dak is healthy as he's been. Zeke is healthy. I mean, I don't think we're going to see a lot of these guys except just in practices, probably not in preseason games. But
drives me nuts.
I know.
Drives me nuts. That's why they have these preseason games and these practices, so you can get good.
Yeah.
So you're ready when the season starts.
Can we say a common theme this year going into Cowboys camp and the regular season is no excuses?
I would say that's a common theme.
I think so. Yeah.
They don't have any excuses this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. Also, the division is not that great. Sorry, Mark. Washington.
That's right.
But, I mean, look, the division's not great. I think the Cowboys are expected to win this division. So, yeah, I would say it's a good way of
what were they, 12-5 last year?
12-5.
And they got blown out by the 49ers?
Yeah, that was a tough one.
They should be, I'll say it now, in the NFC Championship game this year. How about that? Wow. That's how good they look on paper at the very beginning of training camp.
I could see it. Absolutely.
I could, yeah. So we'll see. You saw the key dates up there. They don't even practice till tomorrow. They're just hanging out.
Just hanging out.
In California. What are you going to do today? Just hang out.
Enjoy the outdoors.
Had to get out of this Texas heat, I guess. They're just trying to get out there early.
But you know what? Greg Simmons will ask Jerry Jones Sunday night on Instant Replay about job security for Mike McCarthy. What do you want to bet he does ask that question? May not be the first question out of his mouth, but Greg will ask him about it. So you can watch that Sunday night on Instant Replay. Jerry Jones and
how many times has Jerry Jones been asked about a staff's job security over the decades?
Pretty much every day.
Yeah, that's a common theme with him.
Every day. So every day he talks.
Yeah, he also didn't really give Mike McCarthy a vote of confidence towards the end of last season, so that's why a lot of these lingering questions, as we were talking about.
You know what would really be funny? How coaches kind of show up in different training camps, and Sean Payton came to Cowboys training camp, walked around a little.
Jerry's like, ignore Sean Payton's resume on my desk. Just I'm gonna put that over here. Have a good season, Coach.
Oh boy, here we go.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Well, in other sports-related news overnight, a rowing team broke the women's world record on their trip from San Francisco to Hawaii.
Pretty incredible. ABC's Will Reeve shares her story and what it means to them to make history like this.
This morning, 4 women rowing their boat into the record books.
Everybody stay strong, beautiful, kind, brave.
Rowers Libby Costello, Sophia Dennison-Johnston, Brooke Downs, and Adrian Smith make up the Lat 3-5 women's team. Stroke by grueling stroke, they rowed more than 2,400 nautical miles from San Francisco to Hawaii in 34 days, 14 hours, and 11 minutes. Their landfall historic. They are the fastest all-female team to complete the journey.
I feel totally overwhelmed in the best way by love, and I'm also exhausted.
They rowed in 2-hour shifts, averaging just 90 minutes of sleep at a time, eating boiled-to-order prepackaged meals, enduring seasickness, extreme wind, and rough seas.
We were Libby? How many days in? 26. So 26 days in. And I was just I sat down and I was making food and I just started crying.
The women did it unassisted and had never rowed in the deep ocean before. But their legions of fans following the journey online put wind in the team's proverbial sails. On social media, the women are candid and funny.
My vibe right now is just living life. I am just here to live life.
I think something that I want people to take away is that these women are so incredible, but we're not superhuman. There's nothing that we were born with that make us any different than anybody else.
The crew never losing sight of their mission, breaking barriers.
We inspired a bunch of different types of people, and that's really important.
Oh my goodness, that was Will Reeve reporting. Very impressive.
They made it look easy, but
it's not.
There's no way.
Oh my goodness, and for that long. Very brave. Congratulations.
9:41, about 82 degrees.
You're watching GMSA at 9 and still ahead on the show. Tonight is a big night. Will someone win the jackpot? We're going to talk about the Mega Millions drawing tonight after the break.
Just about 9:45.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. And we are enjoying the heat, or we're in the middle of the heat. I guess a lot of people are dealing with the heat right now.
And Justin's here to help us expand our vocabulary.
Well, so, the forecast has been a little quiet, so I had a little time on my hands. Thought I would jump into the World Wide Web and explore how many ways we could say heat in different languages.
Or hot.
Or hot.
Yeah.
Yes, or hot. Yes, exactly. So here you go. Calor in Spanish. I think we know that one. French, I'm not really sure how to say this. Chaud, I'm going to go with that. I think that's correct.
I think you have to say it like you've ordered something with Grey Poupon. Chaud.
Okay, that's well done.
But I don't know. I know the next one for sure.
Yeah. You got
Heiss,
this.
Heiss.
German.
Yes.
Dutch is just heat, which I found interesting.
Easy to remember.
So go to Holland and say, excuse me, how do you say heat here?
And they're like,
and they go, it's heat.
You've already said it.
In Japanese, atsui. Polish, I couldn't say this when I tried to translate it. Garasi, I think is something like that.
Sounds good.
Zarko in Russian, and then Quente in Portuguese.
Okay.
If you were curious. I don't know that anyone,
you.
But if you were curious, there you go. We looked it up. So
Thank you, Justin.
Trying to not waste time here, but something to talk about. Hottest July on record. We're still headed that direction. We're averaging 90 degrees so far. That is definitely atop the list. And I don't see really I don't think there's any way we fall below 88.7 this month. So we're likely going to take the win on this one for the hottest July on record. We just keep setting records left and right. Time lapse this morning shows we had some clouds coming through. They didn't last very long. Now we're looking at mostly sunny skies, 82 degrees. South-southwesterly winds at about 10. And we haven't seen any gusts yet. I think we probably will this afternoon. A few gusts, maybe up around 20, 25. That little bit of cloud cover we have has basically gone away. We can barely see it now on visible satellite. 79 Bernie Stage, 81 Comfort. It is 85 down there in Pleasanton, one of the hot spots, along with Divine and Castroville this morning. Dew points in the 70s. You know how that feels, nice and sticky. We're in the oppressive category. These numbers do drop off too, though. And we've been seeing that trend each and every afternoon. So the dew points aren't as high, and so the heat index really isn't out of control. 85 right now, Gonzales, 81 in New Braunfels, 85 in Beeville. And the dew point trend today, we'll see those dew points, I think, fall into the low 60s this afternoon. So the heat index will be anywhere from 100 to 102 with an air temperature somewhere around 100 or 101. 98 in Fair Oaks Ranch, 97 Bernie, 100 in San Marcos this afternoon. And as we look at the heat index forecast, around 102 or so, I think is probably what we're looking at as we get into the 4 or 6 o'clock hour. Satellite and radar does show a couple of showers down here along the coast. That's where they'll stay. I think we could see a shower pop up around Victoria, maybe Howittsville. Basically east of Gonzales is where there's an opportunity for a quick shower today because high pressure is still very much controlling our weather. As it slides a little bit further east, there is a disturbance that comes in, I think, starting tomorrow that could bring just a little bit of lift. If we get the sea breeze going, perhaps we can get a 10% chance of rain as far north as the I-35 corridor, but that's probably where it ends. And then as we get into Thursday, same story. Very few people will get rain out of this, and if you do, it's not going to amount to much, but it is in the forecast. And very quickly, let's talk about the Saharan dust. It is starting to make another comeback. It's working its way across the Atlantic. And by the way, this is one of the reasons we haven't seen a whole lot of activity in the Atlantic, because there has been quite a bit of dust out there, and that tends to keep activity at bay. But as we go forward in time and into next weekend, does show that we could get some dust in here. Not huge concentrations of it, but by Saturday, there could be a little bit of dust here and there before all of this clears out. And then the weekend, of course, will be hot. So here's how it looks in the 7-day forecast. We go 100 Wednesday, 100 Thursday, 101 Friday. We're going to put in those 10% chances of rain. Hot this weekend. Another small chance shows up on Monday as well, guys.
Thank you, Justin.
Justin, thank you very much. Real quick, we want to pass on. We just got word from the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. There is a fatality accident The eastbound lanes of Culebra are shut down and being diverted to Talley Road. Traffic will be impacted at this time, and they say please use an alternate route. But that just coming in from the BCSO on their Facebook page. Again, fatality accident at Talley Road and Culebra. Updates as soon as possible. Well, moving on this morning, it's all about the money, money, money.
And we're counting down tonight's Mega Millions drawing for one of the largest jackpots in the lottery's 26-year history.
ABC's Will Gans tells us our odds of winning or losing.
It's the third largest Mega Millions lottery jackpot ever. The kind Clark Griswold would only dream of. And one CEO is making sure he and his employees have their shot at that Hollywood happy ending. Todd Graves, the boss man behind Raising Cane's, sharing this video. Buying 50,000 tickets, one for each of the restaurant chain's employees. If any of them hit the lucky numbers, the prize money would be split among all the workers. $810 million divided by 50,000 would mean more than $16,000 per person before taxes. The restaurant tweeting, hoping for a winner-winner chicken dinner, #MegaMillions. Meanwhile, if another single winner matches each number, the Mega Millions cash option would be worth $470.1 million after taxes. Most lottery winners will buy new cars or homes and pay off debt, but some will start their own TV shows. Wrestlicious, founded by Jay Vargas.
She whips her into the corner.
The show folding after one season. Others launching a more successful endeavor. Titanic Irish Whiskey, founded by a winner with a taste for the hard stuff. And John Cootie, one of a $319 million jackpot winner in 2011, donated part of his sum to build a water park in his hometown in honor of his and his wife's parents. But if you win, experts say step number one should be to call a tax attorney and a financial planner. The odds of a $2 ticket matching all the winning numbers are 302,575,350 to 1. And to put that into perspective, you're about 20,000 times more likely to be struck by lightning. Will Gans, ABC News, New York.
It's nice. I got to remember to buy a ticket. I want to. I just I decided at the very last minute.
You have to. You've been talking about it all week.
I have to.
Yes.
And I'll share. Mm-hmm. We have this for the court proceeding in the future. They'll be like, well, roll the video. Mark said he'd share it.
Right, it's recorded.
9:52, about 83 degrees.
We'll be right back.
Don't forget about our phone bank tomorrow, where you can get any questions you have about vaccines answered. Right now, as families get ready to head back to school, it's important for kids to be up to date on their vaccines.
And medical professionals from University Health will be answering all your questions from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. tomorrow. And we're going to have that phone number to call that will be released tomorrow as well.
And you guys mentioned earlier about a fatal accident that's on the far west side. We want to show you where that is. So that is Culebra Road and Talley Road. So it's eastbound Culebra, and they're diverting at Talley Road. You can see it there, and there is a slowdown showing up in our traffic system. So you'll want to avoid that area if at all possible. They're along Culebra on the far west side. That's in the eastbound lanes. Otherwise, hot today, guys. We're going to see those temperatures make it up to around 101. Some small rain chances coming up next few days.
All right. No other information about that accident. Check out Bexar County Sheriff's Office on Facebook for a little bit more information.
You guys have a great day.